You're listening to the Confidence Coach Podcast, episode 76. Life as an entrepreneur is a roller coaster. An interview with Trissa. All right, guys, I have Trissa back with me again. She did a podcast with me, not quite a year ago, and a lot's changed since then. And the last time we chatted, I think we kept it very personal journey. And so today I really want to talk about the business side of things and how her career has shifted from, a typical 9 to 5 to a stay-at-home mom to now she's running and excelling this at-home business with 3 kids. And helping other women build their team too. So welcome back, Trissa.
Thank you.
So walk us through your journey. What type of work were you into prior to being a stay-at-home mom, and how did that fit into your life?
Okay, so I guess my journey kind of went back and forth with, I talked a little bit about this on the previous episode, but I went to school to be a dental assistant. And so I got my diploma and I was a registered dental assistant, and I started working right away after college. And I liked it. I really did. I really liked it, but it just wasn't the area, I guess, that I wanted to be in, so to speak. I wanted to be higher. I wanted to call the shots. I wanted to work when I wanted. And obviously you can't do that when you're not running the office. But, so I started off as a dental assistant, and I did that for a few years. And then, an opportunity came up to me to work in the corporate world, answering phones, being, in a cubicle. And I took that opportunity because at the time that had more hours for my family. And so I kind of went ahead and decided to take that plunge. And I was making, like a 50-minute drive to commute every single day, working in this corporate world, doing something I absolutely hated. The people that, and I didn't work there for that long. I think it was only like 6 months, and I was like, peace out. I can't do this. But when the people that I worked with there, my coworkers, they were all great people, but they did not even know me because I was so like, this is not what I wanted to be doing. This was not the hours I wanted to be doing. I was working till like sometimes 8 o'clock at night. And then I was constantly being pressured to work the night shifts. And I felt like basically every single day I was going to get fired. And I was tiptoeing around. I was keeping my mouth shut. I wasn't gossiping. I wasn't saying anything. I was trying to be friends with everybody. And to be completely honest, it was like nonstop fighting with my husband because my schedule was so crazy and they conflicted with each other. And I came home and I was just not a happy person. And so my husband and I were having a lot of the babysitting conflicts. It was like not in the normal hours that you can find a babysitter. And him and I we were disconnected because our schedules were so wacky. And so once I was able to get out of that corporate world, which basically led to another dental assisting job, which, was going to have better hours. It was going to be closer to home. I was getting paid more money. And it seemed like this dentist office was the dentist office that I grew up. It was like my dream job. I'd been applying there for years after I got my diploma. And I thought, this is it. It's going to be this. Maybe this will be better than the other jobs. Like maybe this will be fulfilling enough for me. And, I think a lot of women or a lot of people can relate when you say you love like the first few months. Maybe that's not the case for everybody, but you feel like, oh, this is it. This is right. It's something new. It's new people. It's new friendships, new connections, new things to learn. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I got this. And then it fell back into how I felt with the other dental assisting jobs, is that I want something more. I want something more. And after I had our third child, my husband and I kind of sat down and we realized, look, I'm coming home every single night and we're still fighting all over again. It's perfect hours. It's like 7 minutes away from my home. The babysitting and like everything was lining up great. And I was still unhappy and we were still fighting and life was still incredibly stressful because it just wasn't something that I was supposed to be doing. And so we finally decided to, that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom and I would stay home with my babies. And I was ecstatic. I was so pumped. I was like through the roof. Holy cow, I get to, being a stay-at-home mom. Maybe this is, my thing. I was so excited. And I know not everybody's like that, but for me, it was like, holy cow, this is going to be great. And I was extremely thankful to have a husband who works so hard that he was willing to, see my side, understand, he gets it. He works super, super hard and we were able to do it off of one income. So that was incredible. And then that's when I kind of realized that my health was starting to like affect my marriage, how I thought about myself, my moods, my relationships in my life. And I needed to get control over it. And I didn't know how, and I didn't know like all the things. So I did an accountability group with one of my really good friends now, a fitness accountability group. And I fell in love. And then I didn't even know that it existed. I didn't even know that this job existed, which just still blows my mind. And she was like, yo, like, she kind of brought it up to my attention. This is like what I do. And I was like, there's no way that you can get paid to like take care of yourself and to help others take care of themselves. And so once I did one of the fitness programs, I fell in love and I immediately, like without hesitation, wanted to be a coach is what I'm called, is my title, I guess. And the rest is history. After that, I said, oh, look, I want to help people with this. I went through such a crazy transformation physically and mentally that after, a little over a year now, I'm just as passionate as I was as day one. And I'm so in love with it. So yes, so now I'm helping people online with their health and fitness, and I'm loving every single second of it.
That's awesome. Okay. So walk us through your business side of the journey. Like when you first got started, like you had said earlier, a lot of times we get in this honeymoon phase, right? That like, yeah, I'm so excited. Da, 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 da. So did that ever wear off? Did you find any challenges, or what was the biggest struggle for you to get started as an at-home business coach?
Absolutely.
Health coach.
Yeah. Like you said, that honeymoon, you get into it, you're super excited, you're super pumped to tell everybody and anybody. But for me, my struggle came with not trying to fall under the category of not being genuine. And that's still kind of a struggle. I still try to, I teach my coaches, to be themselves. And when I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, what way do I have to be to get people to believe me that I'm like being real and that I really actually want to help them, and that I'm not just reaching out to them because they're not just a number. They're not just a number, excuse me. And they're not just a paycheck to me, because that's not even why I didn't even know this job existed. And so I knew in my heart that I was genuine about helping other people, but there's so many people out there who are not genuine about an online business, and they're not connected to the products or the routine that they're doing. And so I had a hard time with sales. So I hate like talking, but it is a business and it is my job. But I was having a hard time letting people know the opportunity that was in front of them. And, so I went through these roller coasters of, what do I want to share? What do I want to talk about? How do I want to talk to people? And I think that anybody who's listening who has a business or has even thought about a business is like, what is my verbiage? How do I even want to tell people about this opportunity, but being genuine, like have them, my words, how I feel and my thoughts. And I think that that's been, that and sharing my story and being consistent enough where, people really trust it. They've seen me show up for how long, for over a year now. And they're like, okay, this girl means business. But at first it was kind of like, am I even going to be good at this? Like, I love doing this, but am I even good at it? And so as a business owner, just starting out, like from scratch, zero clientele, like zero, but with just a whole bunch of passion, I had to try to fight through that. I had to keep in mind, one day people are just going to come to me. One day this paycheck, all this work will pay off. And one day that everybody has to start at square one. So I had to keep telling myself that on the days where I was really thinking about just throwing in the towel. And that's the honest to God truth. Life as an entrepreneur is literally a roller coaster. One day you're like, holy cow, this is the greatest day ever. I just got my biggest paycheck. I feel incredible. I'm sharing. People are listening. And the next day you feel like you're failing because you just got like 100 no's in a row. Nothing's working. Nothing's planning out. Your computer's broken or whatever, XYZ. But absolutely, I face challenges still to this day, but it's just about changing your mindset.
Yes. Mindset is huge. And there's a few key words that you say here. Like people really have to have some sort of grit. You develop thicker skin the longer you do it. Right. And you just start to realize that like no is not a no forever. Maybe it's a no right now, or maybe no, you don't jive with those people, and just kind of removing yourself from their personal expectations or their personal outcome, right? Because you're just putting yourself out there. And a few things that I want to touch on is you talked about being authentic, being genuine, and you also talked about selling, and you also talked about consistency. So those are three things that I want to touch base on. So first, let's talk about the authenticity, the genuine side of it. Tell me how you went from, and maybe this isn't true for you, but I know women that I work with in network marketing, a lot of times it's like, oh, copy paste this. Oh, copy paste this. And to me personally, I don't feel like that's genuine. There is certain things that you can copy and paste, yes, or mass produce, but you want to put your personal swing on things. You want to show your personality through your language, like you were saying before. So can you kind of tell us how that was for you?
Yes, at first, I was just telling my team this last night on our team call, but it is, I give them scripts, I give them examples as to what I use, but I always say, this is just an idea. I want you to talk to your people how you would talk to your best friend. That is literally my secret, is don't talk to people like they are just a number. Do not word vomit every single dollar that they can save and how quickly you can make $500. And people, this is one of my all-time favorite quotes. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I would never in a million years sign up with somebody or buy something from somebody that I have never had a single conversation with, and they treat me as if I'm a number. They really don't care about my struggles, or you can clearly tell they haven't gone to my profile and even seen that I'm already a fitness coach. Or they see my passion in anything other and being genuine, I thought, okay, let me just sit down here for a hot minute. How would I fight it? How would you really just have to make connections. I don't just pick anybody to work with, but I do my research. I do go to their profile and I do check out what they're doing. I don't just add a friend and invite. That's not who I am. But you have to treat people like you would talk to your best friend. A lot of my invites now to join this community and to, be a coach on my team are one sentence conversations. I would never message my best friend and text her like 6 paragraphs, full of words and shit that I didn't even know about that were just not genuine at all. I always kind of like to think of it as anytime that I see a female country singer, pop-ups on sale, my best friend and I are immediately texting each other like, holy cow, we have to go. Like, does this date work for you? We're always super excited. I get, a coupon in my email for makeup. Anybody who knows me knows I'm obsessed with makeup. And you bet your ass, I'm going to be like, holy cow, when is this sale? What's this coupon for? Where is it located? And that's just in my genuine excitement. And so I try to put the two and two together and just say, hey, you start with your warm market first, the people who already know you and trust you, because I'm sure we'll talk about the consistency, but people want to see you show up. And then you just mix the two together and you say, hey, I'm doing this. You should do it with me. I've had really, really an awesome experience with it. Do you want to join? Do you want to do this with me? And it's truly how I talk to people that I've never met before is who I am. And that's how I actually talk to my best friends or my sisters. And that's how you're going to end up working with the people that are your people, the people who vibe with you in general. So being you is your superpower, whether that's hard to believe in the beginning or not. But yeah.
Nope. I love this. I love keeping it simple because I think a lot of times we as women especially, I mean, I've talked to a few men and it seems like they don't really have this overthinking problem. But these one-liners, the keeping it simple, really that's what you do. You would never come to somebody and give them an entire paragraph of why they need to join you. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. I think of building a business just like you would dating or creating friends. It's all about relationship building and getting them to know, like, and trust you, right? So how do you do that? You kind of test the waters. You start to talk about the things that you enjoy. You start to, like you said, do your research, figure out who these people are and what they like. And there's an energy behind every conversation that you have with somebody. So I like how you talk about excitement all the time. Like, you get yourself excited, you get yourself pumped up, and people can sense that, right? So like when you're talking to somebody and you're being, oh, Debbie Downer, I have to do this, this sucks, blah, 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 blah. People feel that negative energy attached to that conversation or that relationship, right? And so coming at it from that positive mindset, saying like, I'm so excited, I want to work with this person, this is why, would you be interested? Keeping it simple and going from there. And this is all part of like that natural selling process, like you had said earlier, which we'll get to in a second, the whole selling topic. But really keeping it simple, sharing what works for you, and just being an influencer, keeping that consistency, showing up every day. But I do want to talk about this selling because I think a lot of times we overcomplicate this too. And we think that it has to be like this masculine, back you into a corner, they can't say no, very forceful way of selling, right? And that doesn't feel good for anybody. But when you start to build that know, like, trust, that's when the sale feels good for everyone. And I want to just say that every day we are being sold to. Every single day we are being influenced to purchase one way or another. And that is a sale. Like you talked about sharing a new CD or something, or I don't even know if people do CDs anymore, but a new album came out, right? And you talk about that album. You're influencing people to go buy that album, which in turn creates a sale. Correct? Same thing with this, you sharing a coupon for makeup because you love makeup. That is a genuine connection. And you're telling people about a product that's on sale, which will result in profit or income or something to somebody, right? So we're constantly being sold to every day. And it's just an influence, getting that know, like, trust. And so let's talk about online sales for you, how that's transitioned from maybe day one to what you do now. Cause I'm sure it's different how your tactics are with conversations with people. So kind of walk us through that process.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's all, really it's trial and error. Like I can't tell you how many times in the beginning that I did copy and paste, that I didn't check out somebody's profile because I didn't know what I was doing. So if you are in some type of business where you feel like it's super repetitive, you're doing the same thing, and what I did at day one sounds like what you're doing, it's fine. Like, it's literally, you have to start somewhere. but you have to realize what's working and what's not. And so I have a lot of like these, I don't know how to explain it, like out of body experiences where I'm looking down at myself and what I'm doing in my business and my audience and what they're connecting. And I think when I truly started, again, going back to genuine and building a business, like my coach says, off of bricks and not sand, I believe firmly in my team off of connections. I'm really great friends with every single person on my team. They're not just a number to me, but, you know, you have to be genuine and you have to be yourself because, again, people feel that. And that's when people start to relate. They start to automatically qualify themselves. In the beginning, it was I was so word vomity. My invites were, they were 6 paragraphs long. I shit you not. But now it's very chill. It's very, it's cool and calm. I know kind of what people want to hear. I am always ending all of my invites with a question because I want to get to know these people. I want to know what I have to offer can help them with. And I don't know that until I know what they're struggling with. So my invites, I guess, so to speak, are more of, what do you need help with? Like, what's going on in your life? What are you struggling with? And you really got to get to know these people in order to actually give them what they need. You can't just slap a bunch of products on them and hope and pray that one of them works that you just slapped out on top of them. I also like to, you know, tell my coaches, which worked really great for me. So if you have, I don't know, I'm with a company that there's multiple products and some I like more than others, right? Everything is not an end all be all. And so when I have a coach who is really trying to get their sales up in like a strategic, I guess, way, is really talk about the thing that you love the most, because that brings out the passion in you. It brings out the thing that you really, really love to talk about the most, and you have this like inner connection with, and you talk about it. And you're chill. You're not crazy. Again, you don't, you know, bother people nonstop. Like nobody likes a bother. And you talk about it and the way that it's helped you. Personally, you can talk ingredients up the ass to me and I don't care. I want to know how it's helped you and how it's affected your life, how it's made it easier for you, because that's what I'm going to relate to. So for me, the sales in the beginning went from a numbers thing. I just need to get this one person and this one person, and I just need to sell this specific product and I've reached this specific goal, and that's not what it's about now. The sales will come when you connect and when you find out what people actually need. So now it's more of digging into what these people actually need and what they want, and then helping them with the specific things that I can offer them.
This is my absolute favorite topic, like selling and sales. Like this just lights a fire under my ass. Like this is the kind of thing that just lights me up. And this is what I am so passionate about, like coaching and teaching and things like that. And so in the sales world, and one of the things that I teach, which you had touched base on, is the needs analysis, right? I mean, that's basically what you're talking about, is you qualify these people based on asking the right questions. It's a needs analysis, because in a company or in any business that offers multiple products or personalized products or individualized, however, products or services, however you want to say it, everybody is different, and nobody wants to be sold to in mass quantities. They want to be understood. They want to know that they're a person. They want to know that you care about them. And so by asking these questions to figure out what their pain points are and how you can be of best service to them is half the game. Like that's what selling is, right? You're uncovering the need and you're like, oh my God, I have a solution to your problem. And this is it. And it's just helping them to realize that it's as easy as just saying yes, right? And again, even if they say no, it just may be a no right now. There's nothing that says 6 months from now or a year from now, it's not a yes. You know, you keep showing up, they keep watching. Eventually their pain points are going to get so high. They're like, okay, tell me what it is that you're doing, because I have to be a part of this. You look so excited. You're so passionate. You've changed your life, however it looks, you know? So when you start to ask the right questions, and even sharing the benefits of what it is that you do, or the benefits, you know, like you had said, you can talk ingredients out the ass. That's not, I'm not a scientific ingredient type of person. Like, you don't care about that, right? But if
Right.
I'm like, I feel a certain way after using this product, I have a certain result after using this product or service, and that's what somebody is seeking, they don't care about the details, right? They just want to feel that way, you know? And so I love how you talked about picking what products you love, because again, it goes back to that energy behind it. And when you put that love and that passion into the few things that you enjoy, people are also going to see that. And there's another key reason that I think this is a good thing that has probably helped you kind of skyrocket in the last year is focus, right? When you focus on what you love and focus on just a few things at a time, you can make so much shit happen. You can put so much energy behind that one thing and move the needle so far forward compared to if you were to split focus, right? So split focus equals split results. It's just like the monotasking versus multitasking, right?
Yeah.
You can pick up things around your house all day long and never feel like your house is really clean versus like, I'm going to focus on the dishes. I'm going to focus on the laundry. I'm going to focus on clearing out my inbox. I'm going to focus on my podcast, whatever that looks like. I'm going to focus on inviting, right? And you do the things and promote the things that you love. And there's a lot more intention there. I believe it was Rachel Hollis that uses the boulder versus pebbles analogy.
Yes.
I believe it was her.
Yep.
So I'll just recap that here for anybody who hasn't heard this, which I'm assuming everybody listens to Rachel Hollis, but I'll just say it again. So if you throw 20 pebbles into a lake, you'll have a few ripples, right? They're going to be scattered. They're not going to make that big of a splash. But if you put all of that focus into one giant boulder, one big rock, and throw that in, the ripple effect is going to be huge. The splash is going to be ginormous, right? And that energy is going to overflow into all of your other goals, all of your other income, your business, your coaches, however it looks for you. So I think that that's really a key there, is focusing on what you love and one thing at a time. So the next thing that I want to talk about, and you had touched on this a few times, is the consistency. So this can be super hard for people. A lot of times they're like, why do I even try? They fall into that like negative mindset. This sucks. Nobody's listening, blah, 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 blah. But you just keep showing up. So tell us about your journey on consistency.
Well, I guess when I first started this journey and I was told, to be successful with this, you got to talk about it. You got to talk about your journey and you got to share about it and you got to show up every single day. Even though that scared me so much because I had this giant fear of judgment that people would be like, oh, there's Trissa again doing whatever she's doing. And I was really scared, but